Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to the JACKOCAR Cup Series. It is round 15 of Season 3 here at USA Short. Another 100% race on another short track. We love these in this league. I'm your content Owen White. With me is only Jacko. No noisy PlayStation anymore. How great is that?
Stole my thunder there, Owen. I was about to say hello, everybody, and also hello to the nice, empty lack of noise that we're getting. No loud PlayStation, as you say. It's the first time ever, and it means that we can no longer fill any empty bits of commentary with noise. So it's going to be awkward if we get it wrong, but hopefully, I mean, this is race 48 tonight, so hopefully we should be able to have a non-awkward race by now.
Yeah, I'd imagine we should be okay with this by now, having met face to face regardless. We should be okay with this. So, yes, you might still hear the PlayStation a little bit. It's not like it's completely silent, but it's much better than it was, and I promised everybody I would have it ready for the Championship 5. So, yeah, we're all ready to go for that. But we have to decide who gets there, of course. I believe you said in the chat earlier, any of the top 6 who win this would go straight through.
That is correct. Obviously, they would advance, and those top 6, Owen, they are Khalifa, Arnold, Kyle, Corey, Jalen, Iceman. Of course, last week we eliminated Cam and Paul, and Jake and Thomas were out before that anyway. As for the chase, things are quite exciting. Kieran is currently in the advance to the Championship 5 position by 1 point. Janel's behind him, Pete is -4, and Brandon is -6. Everybody else is mathematically still in, all the way down to OKK at -30, but they got a hell of a task if he was to advance to that championship race in 2 weeks' time today, believe it or not.
Comes up on us so quickly, doesn't it? Race 50.
Once we get into the playoffs, it just goes so fast.
I know, race 50, I still can't believe we're heading towards that point already, flown by. But, yeah, we've got to get there first, and hopefully it'll be an exciting run there, because, as we say, we love these short tracks. We do them more than any other league, most likely. They're very much ignored on this game. And we were here last season, was quite a success, even had some good racing for the lead. You wouldn't think so with a track like this, but we had plenty going on. And so we're looking forward to another try. But yes, as you say, that chase fight is probably going to be the most interesting one out there again, because it has been the chase drivers who've been going out there and getting the wins recently. Yeah. And that's always a good way of shaking up. It means some people might be sceptical, thinking, well, are they really one of the top 5 if they've come from 11th down? But they're out here winning races, so they're absolutely going for it every week and earning their spots. And as I say, you've got Janel, Pete and Brandon all on Kieran's radar. Only the 4 points between them, and that's not what Kieran needs. He's just left the session. Now, where is he going to be coming out on track? He is coming out on track in about 8 minutes' time, so he has to get back in time. But I don't know if that actually works in a quality session. This happened to him before in Austria, didn't it?
I believe he will be able to take control if he can rejoin in time.
Well, let's hope so, because that would be, well, unfortunate to say the least, wouldn't it? But, well, we'll worry about him later. We've got Samba coming out of the pits, otherwise known as Nathan. We'll call him Nathan, it's a bit easier. Well, I'll call him both, frankly. But, yeah,
whatever
Nathan,
suits
Samba.
Time. Samba
nice, looking
is, yeah, mint green with grey and black.
I've seen a couple of greens on here tonight. I'm seeing Cam's. Looking forward to seeing Cam in that green as well. But yeah, Samba looking good in it.
Samba, the 52nd driver to start a Cup Series race. And he is in for Paul McGuinness, who has actually given up and vacated that seat. We won't be seeing Paul again this season, but gave us some memories back in round 3 with that Hungary win.
Typical glory hunter, that. The second you can't win, bye-bye.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Last week and not here this week.
Unbelievable. What a fraud. We got a. He's a karting merchant, to be fair. He's been practicing at Larkhall. He's been setting lap records there instead of focusing on the more important stuff. So yeah, shame on him. But yeah, well, we'll grill him for that when we see him. But here is Samba starting his lap, heading up towards turn 1. The common problem, quickly, just to say again, is with the time slots here on a short track, there's always the potential you might come across someone on your out lap when you're on your flying lap. That's bound to happen to someone at some point. Nothing you can do about it. It's just the way the timings are. Drivers are going to have to deal with it as it happens.
Yeah, Samba heavily tipped for the win this evening.
Oh,
Will
he's
he
invalid.
remember to turn left? He did, but he
Got the
invalidated, as
right-hander
you
wrong.
say.
Got the right-hander wrong. Forget the left-hand corner. Maybe he was thinking too much about that left, thinking he's got to get his line, because he pulled too far over to the right, and it's cost him his qualifying session, so he will be starting towards the back of the grid. Kieran's back in, and we can now go and see Scott here for the second time this season, I think?
Yeah, second time. He was running in the midfield before he crashed out, I believe. I can't remember what track it was.
Bahrain sort of fell off on its own. It was not his fault, I don't think. It was the game.
Yeah, it's on the pit straight, wasn't it? I remember that.
The game glitched on us and it took Scott out of the race, but as you said, he was running very much in the midfield, so it was decently competitive. Wonder if he's going to launch a campaign to be in the Cup Series next season. This could be his grand audition. He's on the mediums as well. Showing a bit of confidence there. Trying to get into the top 10 on these tyre. I mean, it's a difficult task, especially with a lap so short.
And Owen, just a quick note briefly back on Samba. I put an interesting stat in the chat earlier. With the exception of OKK, who won the inaugural race back in Season 1, no debutant has ever won a race on their debut.
Well, has to happen at some point. It would take an absolute masterclass for it to happen today, unfortunately, though. But if it does happen, it means you're going to be in for a cracking race with Samba.
Samba from the back does sound exciting. He's very fast.
It does indeed. And we'll see how he gets on. But like I say, I wonder just if Scott's time is going to hold, because it is going to be a valid time, first of all, so well done on that. 1 minute 7.3. Will that be at the top at the end of the session? Will it be in the top 10? Because like I say, it's a big risk. Corey's thinking of mediums as well, but Scott's the only one who's actually committed to it so far.
It's a good lap. Jack Gooding invalidated, by the way.
Oh yes, there he is. Well,
because of that, I just want to turn your attention to the chat. No plane noises. In fact, the plane has landed. It's only been on, what, a year-long flight? It's finally landed.
I think some people might end up treating this like a tragedy. Please don't. Please enjoy this silence, because I guarantee we'll be back here in 2 weeks as Camo invalidates.
Invalidates, yeah.
Like I say, I guarantee we'll be back here in 2 weeks and it'll be blaring away again. And at least I know how to clean it now, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's landed for good. So that's that. Now, here's Dexter. How long can I keep raving over this livery? You might think I'm having a bit of favouritism if I keep saying I like this livery, but I do like this livery. It's very nice.
It's good. It is good. I'm warming to the contrasting green in there as well.
That's the bit I like the most.
That's the bit I didn't like.
Ugh, dear.
Dexter, not very confident coming into this tonight, but if he puts a time on the board, he'll immediately go P2. His best qualifying result ever is P6, don't forget, back in Season 1.
Well, this is it. I mean, with people struggling so much around here, getting a valid time on the board is proving to be the right way of going about it. Even if it's a slow lap, Scott, only person with the time on the board, and we're nearly 8 minutes, or nearly 7 minutes, into the session. So that tells you just how much people are starting to struggle. But I'm sure we'll get some proper time on the board soon. Dexter, hopefully, going to get this one across the line. Will it be P1, will it be P2? Expect P1 on the sauce. You can see how easily he has taken it. You can see the lack of confidence in him as he heads around the last couple of corners. But safety first. There's the line. He's gone P1 anyway.
What?
I think there's a lot of time in these laps. I think the top guys are really going to have to go for it. It'll be a proper show when they do.
In fact, Riley already pushing, you can see, going into that start of Sector 2 there. And of course, he is the short track merchant. We refer to it every time. What can he do? As he just goes past Risky, who has a very nice looking livery, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's just see Riley coming through. Waiting for him to choose his livery, aren't we? Whether he's going to stick with us all season or not. It still looks nice, but it would be nice to see it shaken up a little bit at some point. Give us a special one for the end of the season.
With Dutch influence, isn't it? So
yeah. I'm sure that's somewhere that's going to offend someone. But, here he comes across the line. Look at that. That's a proper lap time. Now we're getting there. P1 by 1.3 seconds. That's what we've been waiting for. Nice.
Here comes OKK.
Indeed. heading
He
through.
seems to be pushing hard on Dexter as well, so expecting this to be around P2, maybe not as fast as Riley. Riley is generally a better
Very
qualifier, as OKK goes a little bit wide as we head down to this final corner.
I'm liking the pink suit. I don't know if you've seen that. He's invalidated his lap, unfortunately.
Invalidated.
Would have gone
106.2.
P2.
Yep.
But like I say, I'm liking the pink suit. Don't know if that's got any meaning to it, but it looks nice regardless.
Risky
As
then.
we find risky, and yes, we've got more of the mint green, so always a fan of that. It's a mint green type of day, and some pink as well, and the black. It's alright.
So a bit like throwback week, it's mint green week.
Yeah, don't really know why.
Oh,
Well. Oh dear.
never mind.
Well, this is not going very well. This could be potential for an upset, but the issue is all the people that would be setting the upset are the ones who are getting the laps wrong. So we need to get some of the people who could pose a threat actually setting some lap times. Would be nice.
Here's a man who needs a good lap time.
Oh, yes.
Very much in that fight for the chase, 4 points off the top. But surely Pete has something up his sleeve. Janel not here next week. And Kieran, does he have the experience to work his way through and get enough points in these last 2 rounds? Pete's been there and done that. He is the Season 1 champion. He needs a good result, though.
Well, this is it. I'd still regard him, honestly, as the favourite. No matter how bad the season's been, and even though he didn't quite make it to the Championship 5 last season, and even though he was right at the bottom of the Championship this season, it's Pete. He always finds it somewhere. He'll always spring a good performance on us. He's been superb so far in these playoffs. And he's trying to convert this lap to go P1, which he does.
Yeah, I can't help but feel what could have been at Canada last season when he crashed out from the lead. What could he have done in Brazil?
Well, this is it. It was, what was it, last lap, wasn't it? He was inside Camo Babu's time, and then he spun, and it was done there and then for him. So close to being there, but I'll spur him on, give him some sort of redemption arc. No, Janel, what is this?
I like it.
I might have to get used to this one. It's different. I'll give it that much. It's got a bit more of a rainbow feel to it. Somehow more than his last one, which is impressive. But Ahmed, yeah, do you know what? I think I might end up growing to like this one.
He did threaten to me earlier in the week that I would like his livery, and I do. So if we get you on side, it'd probably be livery of the season.
Well,
up to the line, P1.
You don't want to
Maybe not
upset
that good.
people.
Yeah.
Let's not upset people with that. Speaking of liveries that we have seen plenty of times, will this be up for livery of the season? The famed Marussia Virgin car, which Kieran is still running. Do you know? I just find it funny. He's stuck it on for the classic week, and is just stuck with it. Fair enough. It's fair enough. You should be proud. Your special event has actually produced a new permanent livery for a driver as he heads down the final corner. 4th place, not as good as his previous qualifying. He's been getting quite good recently, Kieran, actually. Hasn't even qualified, but this one not as good as previous performances. But yeah, got a soft spot for that livery.
What about Brandon? The outsider in the chase, but I wouldn't rule him out. A slight change of livery as well. I don't know if that's purple or dark blue. Can't tell because of the HDR, but it looks good.
Yeah, I can't tell either. We've both got the HDR on. And I'd say it's probably... It's a bit like the Virgin... what do you call it? Oh, he's done it now. The purple car in Formula E. Envision Virgin, it's like that. All of Twitter's been trying to figure out if it's purple or blue. We've got that same problem. I'm sure he'll probably tell us what colour it is, but it looks alright anyway. Sadly though, yet again, invalid lap. They just can't get it done.
I think the least, or the lowest amount of laps we ever had was 13. We're well on course at the moment to have less than that. That would be a record.
We're on our way to smashing that record. If they're not careful, these guys. Here's Thomas, obviously out of the championship. Very sad tragedy. This.
Don't forget as well. 100% race tonight as well, and also Owen. 3 stages available. Of course, we could not legitimately confirm whether Janel would have led at stage 2 with his safety car antics. Thomas has a moment. So stage 2 was taken off of him and added to this week, so they are end of lap 10, 20 and 30. 3 playoff points up for grabs for anybody who wants them. As Thomas comes towards the end of his lap now. No jokers, by the way, this evening.
Indeed, so it's going to be a proper slugfest, and imagine. Look at that. 2/10 off P1 Thomas. It's only P4, but with the lack of times we've had, it's still not looking too horrendous as we move on to another one of these mint green cars with that blue as well. Like I say, we've been liking Cam, using it for Christ's sake. It's happened again at that last corner. They just can't resist it, can they?
And Corey's invalidated.
He's given up and he's binned it as
massive.
Well.
That's massive for the playoffs. What about Iceman?
That hasn't gone too well. We shouldn't laugh at him, but it is. But it is quite unfortunate that everyone's just getting it wrong. Right, well, Cam's every it's nice anyway. I think he ran something similar to it last week anyway, but it's nice regardless. He's been using that livery template all season, and we can't really complain too much about it because it is quite a nice one. Here's Iceman, another guy that's been using this same livery for a while. Or it's the same colours for a while. He's obviously changed the design once or twice, but the colours have remained true to him. And, well, there's only been 7 times on the board so far, and well, we are getting close to the record. In fact, we might have already broken the record, because we only get 5 more times on the board.
Yeah, that is a record.
So there you go. We're dreadful at qualifying at USA Short. The more you know. But
not me and you.
Well, no. Listen, we don't represent the league-ish at the well, we do, but not at the minute.
You're the lead commentator and I'm the owner. How does that
I don't represent the league. He does. He's the one who has to deal with all the drivers. We're rubbish at this.
P4, Iceman.
Iceman slots in P4. At least the top 5 are giving us a nice show up there, nice and close to each other. And we're breaking potentially records at both ends of the grid today. Here's Jamie, who's on the mediums. Now, with so many people invalidating, this is going to be a good, good bet for a top 10 start. Which is obviously what he's looking for in this alternate strategy. Nearly invalidated the lap there, but he has kept it. It was a good line in the end. Certainly taking the risks that he needs to make up any time that he would lose on the compound.
With Corey invalidating as well, it makes life so much easier for Jamie, Arnaud, Kyle, Khalifa. Iceman, the outsider in the playoffs, outside looking in, but a win would then put Jamie at threat. So he needs a good lap, and he should also be looking at a good result as well. Corey's the man who's put himself under pressure now. Jamie, 1 corner to go.
Here he comes. Struggled quite a lot to get the car in. He's only gone P6. But it's top 10, isn't it? That's all he really cares about. Here's Arnaud heading through.
Look at Samba, P12 with an invalidation.
Yeah, it's not gone too
badly. Camo, P10 at the moment.
Yeah, well, what's Camo's best? Qualifying! Wow, what a slide for Arnaud. That's not really going to help his chances of pole position, especially with how close the top 6 is. Well, saying that, he's still quickest of anyone, but I just maybe makes you wonder how quickly Khalifa and Kyle are going to get round. It might be just between the top 3 in the championship for who gets pole, which does make sense. As Arnaud crosses the line, it is P1 with a 1 minute 4.9, but that big slide.
The big boys have arrived, haven't they?
They have indeed, and I reckon there's still more time in it if we have to base it off of what we saw from Arnaud. Then right here, Cam's going to be making a ton of time up.
Yeah, I noticed that the Cup drivers all using as much track as possible along the curbs and the AstroTurf.
Oh no!
Something that the Kia boys didn't do.
Really slow.
Gaining a lot of time for them, but not Kyle.
Yeah. Well,
not very committed either through that penultimate turn.
Well, that's become a wee trend with him, hasn't it? Where he's just not able to qualify anymore, and once again, it's not really very good. It's only P8 behind Jamie. That's a surprise. Well,
what about Khalifa?
Khalifa, we could trust him at the start of the season. He has sort of fallen off a bit since then, when it's come to the pure outright dominance that he had. Back up to the top and stay there. Let's see as he heads through middle sector. Timing line coming up,
struggling for
and
traction.
It's good. this is pole position as long as you can just keep it valid for the last 2 corners, something which hasn't really been happening for that many people today. A lot of understeer has been the problem here. Khalifa gets it turned in, does not extend track limits, and goes pole position. Good lap. 1 minute 4.719. Only 12 qualifiers. It is Khalifa from Arnold. And then Janel, Pete, Riley, Iceman, the top 6. We'll go through the rest later on. But yeah, with so many invalidations, we still do get a few upsets up there. And mainly, we see the fact that, well, Corey's obviously down at the bottom, but we also see that Pete and Janel right up there in P3 and P4. That's crucial for the chase. But like I said,
Kieran down in P10 as well.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a right go of it in the race. But like I say, down from Iceman 2nd, we've got Thomas 7th, Jamie 8th, Kyle, and then Kieran. Obviously, Jamie will start on those mediums. He qualified on them. Dexter's 11th and Scott 12th, the last actual qualifier. The rest all didn't set a lap. Cam, Samba, Risky Cam, Corey, Brandon, Jack, and OKK. Quite the list of performances. Get them all down to the Kia series. They're clearly not good enough.
Dexter with his best qualifying this season, P11. And Khalifa with his 14th pole position of his career. That's not bad for a man with what is now 32 starts. So what's that, about 47% conversion rate, something like that? Starts to poles.
I have to say, I'm not laughing at Dexter for being his best quality of the season. It's just saying that
he's got a lap in.
He's got the lap in. It's done it for him. It's just bizarre that he has to get the best quality through for those sort of means, really. But it does mean we have a potential of quite a good race. And we always have a good race here anyway. But just that little extra element to it, with it being a short track, with some of the people you would expect to be up there not being up there, should be a cracker. And since there's no one on the Joker strategy, it's 2 stops for everybody. And it means we will get a straight fight.
And also credit to Riley as well up there in P5. Good lap from the short track merchant.
And so, is it any of the top 6 then? If they win a race, they go straight through to the Championship 5?
Yep, regardless of the point
even
situation.
Iceman, so...
Iceman, Corey, Jamie, Arnold, Kyle, Khalifa.
Right.
Khalifa just needs to finish with that pole position point, the playoff point. If he finishes P6, he advances. But a win just, certainly guarantees it. He's not won since Monaco, mind you.
Yeah, of course, here is just the first of 2 races that will decide who goes through into the last race. So it's not all on the line today, but I'm sure as many will get through as they can, because they don't want to have that pressure of the 1 race shootout to get them through to that Championship 5. A bit of unnecessary pressure for some of them.
I am looking forward to Janel versus Pete. Pete knows Janel is a faster driver, but if he can finish well close, and Kieran far away, with Janel not here next week, Pete is looking very, very good for a shot at the championship.
I do feel a twist coming though in there somewhere. It's looking too good almost to be true if you're Pete right now.
Great form recently.
Only a couple of points off. Looking like he can push forward now. With John not being here next week, if he just finishes this P4, he'll be happy enough, to be honest with you. But we know what he's like. He might get up higher. This could be the breakthrough victory that could really send him on his way. Will it fall apart from him again? Will he get it through? That's the question. He's probably saying in his head as well, am I going to miss out again? He's got to get it across the line. It's looking good. But we've got 56 laps ahead of us today. We've got a whole other race next week as well.
Last season was absolute heartbreak when he crashed in Canada. It really was. But can he return to the Championship 5? Big result here, puts him in great stead. And next week, where no Janel, Kieran will then be under pressure. We know Pete can do well at Canada. So it's going to be exciting. And of course, we've got the playoffs as well. Let's not forget about them. Corey coming through from the back. Debutant Samba, what can he do? Very fast in practice. OKK, Jack Gooding as well from the back row. What can they do? Jack Gooding won the Kia race here, by the way, earlier in the season. But Owen, it's over to you.
Here we go then. Places are going to start being filled in the Championship 5. The season is coming to a head, and we're getting ready for the lights here in USA. For the short track, it's Khalifa on the left, Arnold on the right, boogity booty booty, let's go racing in the USA as we head up towards turn 1. Arnold has a really good start. Will he get free on the brakes? It's such a wide corner. We've got 4 wide back there, but we do see Arnold colliding, and Pete as well sliding about with Janel making contact as he goes round the outside of second place man Khalifa, who drops down to third, having been on pole position. And that's a dreadful start for him. A few cars going a bit wide, but hopefully they're all staying on the road. Let's see if they all remember to turn left. They are seemingly all getting through there. A few of them making a bit of a mess of it, and I believe the orders are actually showing us the right things. That means Kieran's up to P7 right now. Not a million miles away. He's ahead of Pete at the minute. And Janel, well, he's got to take advantage now. He's not here next week. This is where he has to really take charge. Can he get after Arnold, who took a brilliant lead of the race? As we said, there was contact, but he was forceful. But with, assertion, he got through. He made it his.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Corey up to P12. That's a massive start for him. Dexter drops down to P14. There's a spinner. It's Dexter.
Oh, that's not gone well. He's collided with Jack Gooding. Well, they might not collided, but they've certainly both ended up off the track. I don't actually see any damage on them. So they will...
Dexter spun at his own accord, and I think Jack collected him.
Yeah, off in Narnia now. They'll live to fight another day. Hopefully they don't live to crash another lap. So they'll do their own thing. A lot of pitters. Pete is in the pits, so that's front wing for him. Iceman as well. Oh dear.
Jack Gooding won this race in Kia from 20th on the grid. It's now up to P19.
We also have Brandon in as well, so this is working well for Janel and Kieran then. And obviously Iceman being in the pits, not good for him as well, but he's caught quite a gap. I'm wondering if he even changed his front wing, if this is actually strategy. Let's just check his pit stop time, because we can do that. I always forget you can do it. Iceman and Brandon, and Risky, that's strategy for all 3 of them, I think. All 2.5 second pit stops, they're doing strategy, but it's maybe the game lying to me, but certainly Iceman is the one who would be taking the biggest advantage, because he's a good 8 seconds clear of Risky. So look out for Iceman later on. This could be a master stroke if this is strategy, because there's no jokers today. 2-stop strategy.
Pete go.
He can do whatever he wants, and that is what he wants to do. And as you say, Pete does get through. So keep your eye on Iceman. He has to win a race at some point, realistically, if he wants to have a proper shot at getting this Championship 5. This could be his ticket towards it.
Absolutely. All the speed boys working together clearly, and I like that call from them. Iceman, if he wins this race, that really puts Corey, Jamie, Kyle under pressure. You'd like to think Khalifa and Arnold have it covered, but certainly Iceman, that is an upset in the apple cart if it were to happen tonight.
There goes Thomas past Kieran. He's going to go for it on the exit. Can he hold position? How much is he going to willingly risk here without having an accident? It's been 2 weeks in a row he's had accidents in battle, and they've set him back a lot of points in this championship. It's only that afraid of race. When's he going to start to sort of hold it back, or is it just too late to do that? He's sort of between a rock and a hard place in terms of his championship. He's been the leader of this chase, really, from the get-go, to be honest. He's been high up there all the time. And, yeah, he's got a lot to sort of think about at the moment. Knowing Janel's not here next week, very interesting in terms of his race. So many people are just going to be thinking about next week. It's almost like this week is just that little stepping stone to get there. They don't really care what happens as long as they get to next week, still with a chance.
And you know we love an elimination race in JACKOCAR as well.
Indeed.
Certainly next week it is absolutely poised perfectly at the moment.
We've got Corey on the back of us as well. He's trying to get by Jamie, who's actually behind Samba. So Samba's the leading driver who started this race on the mediums and is still on them. Jamie hasn't got any damage or anything by the looks of it, or nothing visual at least, so he just seems to have had a slow start, or Samba's had a good quick start. So either way, he'd be happy enough, as you said. He'll be making history.
The inside goes Corey on the inside of J-Luke. Two teammates.
Yeah, this is not what they really need to be doing right now, and they're going side by side. Good racing, but what's it going to cost them if it goes wrong? As Corey surely completes the move now on Jamie, and he does, to become the second highest driver on those mediums. But as you say, no one in this league has ever won on debut, apart from the first race ever, which of course, you know, everyone who started that one was on their debut. So as you say, Samba has a chance. Samba has a chance to make history as he goes past Kieran. He is looking pretty quick, and he will be on these medium tyres Probably his only stint on them. It'll be soft all the way to the end after this. And yeah, we'll see what he can do, because he's certainly looking pretty quick and off the track there, going Thomas. He does get a penalty.
Struggling with that corner all race long. I've been following him. I don't think it'll be too long before Samba gets past. So obviously ERT teammates. But not teammates. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely called it.
Jamie, by the way, also got a penalty for pretty much the same thing that Thomas did. So those two are struggling. Pete has a penalty out there as well. So that could be important. We're expecting quite a lot of penalties today, to be brutally honest with you. It's one of those tracks where you will get them when it's all fast chicanes. It's inevitable.
I do believe in the Kia race here, Bill managed to secure, what was it, 38 seconds, I think?
Jeez.
Penalties. And didn't get disqualified. Nobody got disqualified. So I'd like to think the Cup Series boys, they should manage to have less penalties at least. Corey on turn 1 just about gives him room there.
He's got Corey on the exit though, Kieran. Fighting this one. Corey's still on the inside. As well. Oh, I don't see how this one lasts in too long. Someone's going to have to back out, and it's Corey. Smart thinking there from Corey. Just protect what he's got right now, because he knows he's already ahead of Jamie. He knows Jamie's got a penalty. Right now, as far as he's concerned, he's happy as long as he's ahead of him. To be brutally honest, that's all he needs.
Yeah,
as he gets
Corey
through.
is +3 on Jamie as well. He comes back.
Kieran loves these fights, doesn't he? Where he just does not let the guy pass him stay ahead. It's like, passing Kieran must be the hardest thing in the world, but he's going to be done 2 in 1 corner now, unfortunately. No, Jamie's nearly spun. Is he going to lose one to Cam? He is. Well, that hasn't gone too well for him. It's getting worse for Jamie, who's potentially seeing a championship fight slipping away. The reigning champion struggling here.
It's all coming undone. He had that amazing start to the playoffs, winning both races in round 1.
No, is he boxing for damage? Was there actually damage that we just didn't see visually?
No damage, no damage on Taz.
Okay, we've got strategy then.
Iceman, by the way, is caught up to Dexter in P16, who hasn't pitted yet. I imagine this will be an easy move into turn 1. DRS assisted. Good traction from Dexter on the exit, though. So they will pass J-Luke. Yeah, so Iceman's ahead of J-Luke by a massive amount.
Yeah, that is looking good, isn't it? 4.1 seconds, and he's all over Dexter, as you say. He's now going past, so not losing any time there. Iceman just getting on with it. He's got a good little chunk of free air in front of him. Let's see if he'll keep pushing on with it.
Imagine if those speed boys catch a safety car.
Oh yes. That's one of the big benefits to being on a massive undercut pretty much the whole race, isn't it? I mean, it can just work out so well in your favour. So that is good stuff so far, Bryce. We don't want to get too excited about him yet, because it wouldn't be the first time we got overexcited about something in this league. But
I wonder, do we have time, Owen, to get excited about the battle for P13? Jack and Scott, the leading ILR admins from back in the day. Of course, Jack the owner, Scott the right-hand man.
Yeah, the dictatorship before the dictatorship, really.
Yeah.
I think we still do a better dictatorship, to be honest with you, but...
Some say we rig our races.
Well, true. And then we deal with them pretty fully, didn't we?
You're meant to protect us.
Yeah.
It's too late. We'll edit that out.
Scott's got a penalty. You see, in the past, we would have been fine, because we would have had that PlayStation going crazy, and you wouldn't have heard a word of that, but,
no.
Oops. Sorry! Oh, and well, Thomas has let Corey through, hasn't he?
Yeah, teammates once again.
Yes, Thomas certainly playing the secondary role to pretty much everyone, because he's just here, sadly, unfortunately, to make up the numbers. It sounds a bit cruel, but he's out of the championship, so what else is he here for? Because sadly, he's not really here for the win. Well, that's true, actually. Yeah, I forget there's a team's championship.
Is Jano up in P2, hunting down the leader. That gap has closed somewhat.
I guess it keeps fluctuating. We haven't really been watching leaders because they've all just sort of been boring, I'll be honest with you. They've all just sort of been getting on with it and not really been too bothered with the racing part of the race. Might be through choice, that though. So it might just be part of their epic strategy. By the way, we did see Kieran pit. He's behind Jamie now, and Jamie's all the way back of Dexter, and he's diving him into turn 1. Good from Dexter to see that coming. I was sure that was going to be some sort of contact, but no, they got through okay. I think Jano's made a mistake, has he? Because he's lost a good 6-7 tenths of a second.
Yeah. Definitely. Or he was just slow through that second part of the track.
Oh, he's wide as well, Jano. Is he going to be heading to the pit lane? No, he's just struggling for grip, but he's locking up into the last corner as well. Playoff point at the end of this lap, I believe, as well for Arnold, if he can keep the lead. But I think Khalifa's ready to go for second place. But he's not using the ERS. He could have went for that into turn 1, but decided not to. It could cost him time, though. Look at Jano, he's so slow.
Jano's tyres are gone, mate. They are, to be fair, they're in no worse condition than Arnold and Khalifa. He's just struggling.
He's just overheating, maybe. Obviously, these are all fast.
I can't give you.
Obviously, these are fast, twisty corners. Can't be doing the front left any good, or the front right, really, but particularly the front left, especially that triple right-hander.
They're all on 22 and 23%, the top three. Riley doing a good job, but his tyres are in the worst condition of the top 5. Kyle chasing him, in fact, bringing Samba along now for the party.
This must be an overheating problem for Jano. So Khalifa might have a chance of getting by him soon. He might feel he has to, because look at it, Arnold's
checked out,
sprinted away.
Seconds.
He's absolutely gone. So right now Arnold is looking at not just a playoff putting in this lap, but if he can just get to the end of the race and win it, he's through to that Championship 5. Here comes Khalifa. He's now realised he's got to get a move on. He's going to chase after the race leader as Jano falls to third. Which is good news if you're Peter or you're Kieran or you're Brandon, really. They're all sat at the back, unfortunately, as Samba gets by Kyle into turn 1, ERT teammates. Don't imagine that was too difficult.
Don't forget, a top 6 for Khalifa advances him along with Arnold. So that's 2 of the Championship 5 places confirmed, or would be. Pete with another penalty. It's all going wrong.
Yeah, look at Dexter. He's holding us all up at the minute. And he's gone wide at the final corner. Kieran will be pretty, keen to pass here. Seeing Pete, who could be his main rival for this chase title. Oh, and there's going to be contact into turn 1. Surely Pete will just squeeze through now on Dexter. And Brandon as well. He's obviously in the championship as well. He wants to get involved. He's also got by Dexter. Riley's falling behind Samba now. I think they're having a good scrap. Let's have a little look. Oh, Riley sideways. Well, we know how that one ends. I'll expect the report probably now, in fact. He's oh, wow, what a save. Samba's pitted and Kyle's going wrong. I don't know if it's just tyres or they have made contact. Because Samba's now pitted on the mediums. That seems a bit unusual at this stage of the race. But something seems to have happened there. As Kyle's now back up to 4th place. Yeah, front wing for Samba, so there was contact. Sort of a self-explanatory, I know, but you just never know sometimes. And yeah, so that's Kyle up in 4th place, and Riley's going to spin again.
What a shame for him.
Useful, yeah. Just look out for Corey. That could be the end of his championship if you're not careful. And look at Thomas now coming through. His championship's over anyway. Kyle's going through. Riley's just and
that's teammates.
Cal Abbott was sitting in a relatively decent 8th place right now. I wouldn't get in his way if I were you, Riley. If you think you're angry, I don't imagine he'd be too happy if you knocked him out of that position. But yeah, well, Riley, it's not gone well the last lap for him, unfortunately. It's something we've kept seeing from him this season, isn't it? It just isn't working for him at the moment. I think he'll be looking for this season to end now, really. Reset, come again next season.
And it is interesting to see, Owen, Kieran, Pete and Brandon all fighting over P16. Yet Jano, the man they're fighting for in the chase, P3. So he would gain 15 points on him. He'd have a 14-point lead going into Canada,
which he would
really
be here for.
But Pete and Kieran massively under pressure then. Khalifa with a time penalty.
Yep.
But he has found 7 temps on Arnold.
And he's nearly made 3 seconds on Janel anyway, so I don't think he's going to mind that massively. Here's Jamie. He's closed down the 4-second gap, and he's now going to come past Iceman into turn 1.
As it stands, J-Luke and Iceman are being eliminated. Yeah. As it stands.
So, not wise for them to fight, and that's why they didn't really do too much. They just swap positions. They're thinking about the long game, possibly still. They're probably thinking as well that they're still on a pretty big undercut on quite a lot of the drivers out there. And so, yeah, they're just sort of biding their time as Samba. He's not really biding his time. Jack Gooding is defending like a madman. But Samba's going to get through. Or is he? Will Jack go back up his inside? I feel some contact coming. But no, Samba has saw that coming. He's ducked underneath. And he's up into P11. Nicely done. He's obviously doing himself an undercut. Obviously, he had the front wing change, but he's making the time back up now with the pace he's got. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see some purples lighting up any second now. Oh, no. He's too busy overtaking. This lap he'll do it. Because he is looking mega quick at the moment. But, yeah. Riley's still trying to get by Cowabella, by the way. We'll see if he can do that. I can't imagine his tire. Oh, sorry.
So I was just going to say, Samba is fastest in Sector 1 at the moment, and Arnold is the king of Sectors 2 and 3. Fastest lap, though, is Khalifa currently with a 1 minute 8.1. But that gap down to 1.1. In fact, under a second. As Arnold pits.
Yep, Khalifa stays out for another lap. So let's see where Arnold actually comes out in comparison to the rest, because I don't really know how this race is shaping up yet, to be brutally honest with you. And, let's see. So we've got a few cars coming through, around that final corner, and Kyle and Corey will pass Arnold. And there's no one really in the vicinity to sort of get in the way. Because obviously that's 4th and 5th. Just ahead of Arnold. So really it's going to be Arnold, Khalifa, Janel, and that's it really at the front. Unless we get a safety car which could reset it a bit. But yeah, it does seem that the front three are sort of all on their own right now. Good news if you're Janel. But not good news if you're us wanting a fight. So someone crash, please. Politely, obviously. Stick it in the wall.
20 cars still running, quarter of the way into this race, just over a quarter in fact. Good to see, we'd normally had one retire by now at least.
Yeah, they're being oddly well behaved, unfortunately. Ah dear. Here's Khalifa in the pit. Oh, as I say that, front wing's off, and it's Pete's front wing. So, he's gone into the back of Kieran. Uh-oh. Brandon will be very excited about this. Seeing his rival losing the front wing. Just a reminder that he is only 2 points off Pete. So he'll be very happy to see that one going down, because he is still very much in the championship fight for the chase. He's been extremely anonymous from our point of view. If you've been in parties with him, then you'd be hard to miss him. But for us, we don't get to listen to him, and so we sadly haven't really focused on him too much. But that'd be one that none of us saw coming if he just swoops in and steals this. Would be nice to see though. Pete does indeed. Yeah, there's no choice. So when you got the front wing, that first sector would be a nightmare with the damage. And well,
mediums or hards?
Will he try and get hards to the end? Will they just be too slow? Let's see what he does. Mediums. They are mediums.
Okay.
Don't think they'll go to the end though, will they?
Becomes the lead driver on 2 stops now.
Actually, they probably could go to the end, because 2 stops a mandatory thing. It's not maybe the best strategy. Maybe a 1 stop is the best strategy. Maybe this is when you want to pit for your one and only stop. Maybe this is fine. So, yeah, maybe he's alright actually. Pete, but he's last at the moment. So that's what he's going to be worrying about. As we catch up with Arnold and Khalifa. Well ahead of Janel. Like really well ahead, jeez.
Didn't change too much either, did it, between Arnold and Khalifa? So battle resumes at the front, both with a stop still to make. Cam moves up to P3 momentarily.
So well, this is looking decent for Brandon, because he is now the sole man chasing after Kieran, and he hasn't got a penalty, so he's already technically ahead. Ahead of Pete as well. Janel not here next week. Oh, safety car. What's that for?
Oh, well then.
I don't really know. Oh, there's been an accident. That's what's happened. There's front wing on the exit of turn 1. It's yellow. It's, well, Scott's got a penalty, so that's his front wing. But I have a feeling there's someone else's front wing. It's Camo Babos. Someone else. It feels after Thomas as well. Has there been some sort of pile up at turn 1? No, his front wing's fine. Sorry, it's actually Jamie. Jamie, half his front wing's missing.
Jamie, who was fighting Jack actually when the safety car came out. I didn't see any major contact.
Well,
it must have been enough to knock the end plate off.
There were some
safety car.
Penalties were being handed out. Let's just see what the game itself has to say about it, because if I'm honest with you, I completely missed it all.
Owen, look who's back in this race now. 2 stopping Pete down in P20.
Well, indeed,
Massive.
you're right, actually, yeah.
Massive. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars yet to make a stop. That's Cam, Jack Gooding, Scott, and Dexter. Race pretty much ruined for those 4. Everyone else on 1 stop, and Pete on 2 stops.
So, according to the game, Jamie got a warning at turn 1 for going off the track, exceeding track limits.
Jamie pits.
And then he had a collision with Jack. And then Camo Babu had a severe collision with Scott. So there might be 2 separate accidents that have happened at turn 1. And that's why there's so many cars in the mix with that. But yes, the cars here pitting, ironically of course, they can pit, they take advantage of this. Jamie's stuck hards on. So he doesn't think mediums could get to the end. That could be bad news for Pete, couldn't it? Because actually Jamie will come out leading well ahead of him actually. Yeah. And Scott will too.
Scott needs to make an extra stop though.
Yes, Scott who does have to make another stop, well spotted, yes. He's on the softs anyway, I was wondering why he did that, but yeah, that explains it. So,
Pete's going to really need to nurse these tyres to the end.
I don't really know why they put a safety car out for that though, to be honest with you, because no one's even been taken out of the race, and it has just sort of put Jamie straight back in this, hasn't it? I'm not going to say undeservedly, but it's the way of the system, isn't it?
The way of the system, yes. And what it does is, as well, is it switches everything that was almost set in stone on its head.
Well,
so
this is it.
It was Corey was going to advance, and it was J-Luke and Iceman going out, but now it's J-Luke advancing with Corey going out with Iceman. And Pete back in this race, which puts Janel, Kieran and Brandon under pressure, providing Pete can get those tyres to the end. So it can go any which way, and there's a stage point at the end of the next lap, which I think Arnold might get.
Yes, wouldn't surprise me. So the top 3 then at the moment, Arnold, Khalifa and then Cam, who's not made a stop yet. Sadly, he will not get anywhere near that playoff point unless the top 2 go off ahead of him, so he's sort of in a bit of no man's land. There are still 3 people yet to stop for the first time, mind you. Cam, obviously, as I said, Jack and Dexter, and then everybody else apart from Jamie and Pete have to stop again. And yeah, I mean, Jamie's on hards. I don't really expect he'll be much of a factor at the front, but it should get him closer to it as safety cars in this lap. So okay. we'll keep our eye on Jamie, see what happens to him, but that should be one to keep an eye on. Obviously, the leaders will have to try and scamper away again. But yeah, this will be interesting. We're at the 1/3 point of the race, pretty much. So yeah, had a bit of a reset. Let's get ready to go once again.
Yep. Arnold, by the way, has now led over 250 laps in JACKOCAR. He is second on the leaderboard all time, behind Khalifa, who is, I think, made his way up to 270.
Fun fact, neither of them have won the championship.
No. Both of them have been to the championship 5 once, as Arnold gets things going again.
Khalifa was not expecting that,
was he? Wasn't he? Yeah.
And,
Cam pits.
Cam's in. Camo's lost positions. Is there something going on there? Or is he just pitting? Or, well, yes he is. With his damage, that was enough to cause him many problems.
Corey, aggressive move into turn 1 on Kyle.
Do you know what? This actually helps Samba massively, doesn't it? Because he's up to 3rd place now, and he is pushing the top 2. We set out his pace. You made the point earlier that no rookies ever won on their debut, and well, look at Khalifa off in Narnia. Samba on the softs. This could be his chance of glory.
Stage point at the end of this lap as well. Arnold picked up the first one. Normally we only have 2 stages, one more at the end, lap 30.
And I tell you what, Samba getting by Janel, that could be costly in Janel's chase campaign. Obviously Corey all over the back of him too, so that might be resigned to 5th place as well before long. But Samba, when's he going to get by Khalifa? He smells a victory, and this is all he's here for. He's only here for the victory. It's not going to really change his season. He's only here as a one-off, pretty much. And he's going to make it count. Here he goes up to turn 1. He's now into second place. No penalties, remember. He is the net race leader now. Brilliant stuff.
Indeed, yeah. Samba, you're correct here on saying that he is here for one race only before he heads into retirement. Of course, competing in his final one racing season as well, over there on Friday nights, which you can watch tomorrow.
Isn't that ironic?
Free promotion, Nick.
Isn't that ironic? The rookie in his final race before retirement.
Yeah.
What a way to start your career, and what a
already.
way to end it. But there's Corey going by Janel, so it's going downhill for him, and uphill obviously for Corey as well. He's feeling a little bit more secure about his championship position right now. But yeah,
his rival's all the way down in P14, but has made that one extra stop.
Let's say if this is Samba bidding farewell before he's even had a chance to say hello, what a way to do so, because he's now all over the back of Arnold. He's got so much pace at the moment. He's stuck his ERS on, he is flying up towards turn 1. Arnold still picked up that second stage point there, so even if he loses the lead, he's taken two super important points. Still one more to go on lap 30 because of Janel's issues last week, meaning we couldn't score one of them. So it was moved over to this one.
P2 is not the end of the world for Arnold. He would still advance anyway with 15 points plus those 2 stages. 17 points would put him plus 31, I believe, if my maths are correct. Would be plus 33, sorry, which would be unassailable from those behind. So Arnold and Khalifa advancing. Samba would pick up a race win.
It's quite
What
exciting,
can Corey
isn't
do,
it?
though? It is. And we've still got a race to go as well before the championship.
Exactly.
Canada always delivers.
Riley and Brandon scrapping. Obviously Brandon with no penalties is in such a nice position at the moment to really take advantage of Janel falling down the field a little bit. And with OKK and Jamie and Risky all sort of close to each other, having sort of a few scraps, this will be making Jamie behind feel uncomfortable. It's just helping Brandon get clear. Meanwhile, at the front, Samba got close, but not close enough to go for the lead, so we'll have to wait another lap. Brandon trying to catch up to Kieran, who did well, so doesn't sort of not get involved in any of this drama. His penalty, though, is still the thing that might come back to bite it, though, but he is sitting P9, only 4 positions away from Janel. Genuinely, it's not the end of the world for him. Back up to Samba.
By the way, really struggling. Got no pace at the moment.
Yeah, he's been struggling all day, hasn't he, Kieran? It's a day of survival, this one, for him. As Samba will ride on board. I'm expecting to move really any second now. That DRS zone down towards turn 1 looking pretty damn tempting for him at the moment. Obviously, he's on the soft at the moment, so he has to take advantage of the grip while he has it. Although, mind you, he started on mediums, didn't he? So theoretically, he could do 2 soft stints to the end. So this could be actually his pace for the rest of the day.
Soft should do that as well, which I think that was the winning strategy in Kia Series. You'll have to speak to Jack Gooding as Samba lines up a move on Arnold. Deep into turn 1 he goes. Bit of respect there. Arnold didn't challenge it. And Samba
he's got a plan though. He's going for the exit.
But Arnold doesn't have enough.
No, he doesn't. Samba leads. Brilliant stuff. You love to see it. Now, Brandon's on the inside of Kieran. And Kieran, as we've seen from so much this season and today as well, he fights back. And you get yellows behind. Riley, well, he's had an accident. Don't know who with, we'll find out. Maybe if there's anyone with damage. Brandon has a penalty now. There goes his advantage. That's going to encourage Kieran plenty enough. I'm trying to see if anyone has any front wing damage, or if it was just a spin for Riley. I've got no one out there who's damaged. It looks like it was just a spin.
Orange on the front left end plate.
Oh, Pete and OKK. Someone's front wing went flying there, I think, as well.
OKK's.
It's OKK. Lucky break for Pete, but he's still getting clattered. And he's all over the show. And there's a car on his inside now.
Oh, I won't say anything.
Yeah, just stay quiet on this one.
Look at Scott coming through in the middle.
Yeah, he had some
OKK struggling with that wing damage.
Speed, didn't he? He had to back off a little bit, trying to get by on Risky. Couldn't manage it.
OKK pits. Not surprising.
Risky's lost the rear end. That'll be Scott's chance as he heads up towards turn 1. 1.5 seconds, by the way, the race lead for Samba. It's working out beautifully for him at the moment. as risky.
Oh, Scott bailed out of it.
Yeah, Scott does bail out. Jack Good in 6 seconds off that, by the way. Just sort of in his own sort of game. Most of the grid, I've got penalties now. You'll be glad to know, Jacko.
I see that. It's just Samba, Janel and Kyle who don't. Riley and OKK demoted to the back, but both on 2 stops now. They are done. Strategy-wise, it's an ERT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the moment.
We saw Samba to show Corey how it's done. Now he's going to try on the soft compound tires to get by those pesky medium runners and try and get himself even further up the grid. Remember, he started right down at the back. He had a invalid lap in qualifying and thought, you know what, for fun I'll stick it in the wall for good measure, just to secure it. And yeah, here he is, all his recovery. A pretty impressive recovery. It's
been one of those days, Owen, where Corey's managed to keep his head and may not win this race, but he's certainly showing that if this were to be round 17, a championship round, he can keep pace with the 2 favourites.
Indeed, he's been really strong, so absolutely giving himself a lot of confidence as well with this sort of drive. It'll make him sort of, even if it goes a bit wrong in the last race, he'll be sort of thinking, okay, I've got the pace anyway, so he'll have full confidence here. Brandon's been overtaken by Jamie, by the way. Don't really know how that one's happened. We didn't see it, but yeah, Jamie's a way off clear on those hards. And Brandon now fighting off another one of his main rivals in the chase. P2, the safety car has helped, obviously, because remember, you've got to see the 2 stops there, but will they get to the end? They probably will, actually. But will they have any life left in them? Probably not. But he will probably still be higher at the end than he is at the moment as Samba gets his penalty. So it's still not looking too bad for Pete, actually, despite how it looks right now, with all of his main rivals actually in front of him.
It's really not. Pete is 7 points away from Janel, so say it finishes like that, he's going to be a minus 11, which would mean he would need a P6 or better. Actually, no, he would need a P5, wouldn't he? In Canada next week, which is more than achievable if he wants to go to the Championship 5. But what is Kieran going to do? Because he's very much in that fight as well. And Brandon sticking his nose in, but not quite doing enough. He's knocking on the door. Got his podium earlier in the season.
He'll be on a pretty big undercut though, Brandon. Just look at his age of his tyres. He'll be the one doing the strategy undercut later on. That might be what helps him as Corey dives down the inside of Khalifa and gets up into 3rd place. Khalifa ran out of room
looking his best.
No.
Two penalties and just not fast. Not the Khalifa we knew from the first half of the season.
Do you know what I've just done, Jacko? I've looked to the skies and you'll have seen a lot of black clouds.
Black clouds, yeah. It has
starting to form.
A little bit darker, hasn't it?
It's possibly why Scott chose the softs rather than something else. Maybe he was ready for this.
Maybe he knows something we don't.
And we never check the weather. I have no idea what the weather's like. It's been a while since we've had rain in this league, really. In a race, anyway. By the time it came back.
They used to tell us the weather, didn't they? But not anymore.
Yeah, they normally unintentionally tell us by saying, "Oh, I can't believe it's gonna rain." But they sort of stopped doing that recently, and it looks like it's getting quite dull. Oh, and there's through Jamie. Another nice move through on Kieran.
And a time penalty for Corey as well.
Yes, but yeah, Kieran, he couldn't do his usual trick there and duck back through. He's just sort of let Jamie go. Up into P9.
It's not enough for J-Luke. He needs more than this. Of course, everybody in front of him still needs a pit. That is the saving grace. He is minus 25 seconds off the lead. That would bring him out around 4th once everyone makes their stops. It's not enough. He needs to win. As does Iceman.
Right then, so let's just see where we are, because get used to this, by the way, people, where we're not really spending all of our time focusing on the front. We might end up being on the midfield for pretty much the next 3 races, because it tends to never be about the leader, sadly, at the end of the season. The poor guy. Most people have no idea that Riley's a race winner because he won a season finale. So, yeah, just
Didn't even get
be
it on
aware.
stream, did we?
Yeah, we barely got it on stream, didn't we? We just sort of said it in passing. It's just like, yeah, you've done it, well done now, let's talk about this guy. But, yeah, the way it's gonna go, so we'll just be aware of that. At the end of this lap, Sam will pick up his first ever stage point. Obviously, as a rookie. Has that ever happened for a rookie, getting a stage point?
What, in their debut race?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Josh Fletcher in Brazil did it.
You just have all the stats, don't you? You must have just a
I
massive
do.
database.
Yeah, I've got
It's
a lot.
great, this.
Yeah, Josh was the last one to do it, and I believe he was the only one to do it as a what do you call him? As a debutant.
Right, well.
Technically, in theory as well, you could say that Connor and MK Bourne did in Australia season 1.
We don't count that one, come on.
But yeah, okay, so yeah, that would make Josh the only one to ever do it out of 52 drivers. Now 2, as Samba
Indeed.
picks up the third stage point.
Exciting stuff this is. 3.3 seconds clear. Those grey skies, they're still around, but I wonder if they were just sort of passing. Parts of the track that were getting dull or getting light again. Because I'm sure someone in the chat would have unintentionally told us it was going to rain or it was going to, but it's always fun to imagine it would rain.
To add that drama.
Yeah, this is a classic JACKOCAR drama that we sort of come to expect, really, but maybe it will happen. Or maybe we're saving it for the final race of the season. The final race, of course, where none of these drivers actually know where they're going yet.
Only you and I know.
That's another element that we haven't really been speaking about, mainly because we know and they don't, but they have no idea what the final race is going to be like. At all. They can't prepare for it. I mean, they can try and prepare for it, but they'll be wrong. So,
they will find out the track that they race on 2 hours before the actual race.
Why 2 hours? That'll give them a chance to practice a race sim.
Oh, I can make it less time if you really want.
Tell them half an hour before. That'll really put the cameras to pigeons.
Oh, wouldn't it just?
They'll be able to scramble onto TT, and that'll just make it lovely. Or just tell the lobby host, and they'll just rock up into the lobby. Oh, we're here. Brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta take advantage of that.
There will be a twist in that championship race as well that even you don't know, Mr. Wyatt.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And if any of them watch back the stream, I'm going to have a load of DMs afterwards saying, what is it?
And Jacko will tell me after the stream, because I will make him tell me.
I will, don't you worry.
Oh, listen, I will. You know I don't tell.
I know you're quite good, you are.
Because shockingly, I like this league, so if it was PSG, I'd probably tell you everything. But
Shocking.
But yeah.
After 3 seasons, says enough.
Indeed. Scott's got a penalty. He was on board for that one. He's now got the track. I'm going to stop watching him now.
OKK and Camo Babo coming to the end of their chase campaign. They will be eliminated along with Risky and Dexter. I think Riley will still be involved even if he only picks up a point. But it is the 4-way fight that we are focusing on. Janel, Brandon, Pete, Kieran. No Janel next week. Pete very strong in Canada. Kieran been the leader for the last 5 races in that particular in the chase. Brandon outside looking in to go anyway.
So Iceman's in the pits again. Obviously we knew he was going to pit a lot earlier than others because of the fact that he pitted at the start, which was a strategy move from what we could tell. And he's now going to come onto the pits on a lovely fresh set of soft compound tyres. Pete will start moving up through the grid because he is on very handy medium tyres. It's about whether the pace will last on those, because, you know, of all the tracks to do this on, he hasn't picked a bad one, because a pit stop here is half a lap. He's not going to have to do that half a lap. Could Pete win this, Jacko?
No. Definitely not.
Another safety car well timed. Could put him in a very nice
safety
position.
car now? No, it would still give it to Jamie, that win. I don't see it. Pete could get a top 5, I believe.
Could do, yeah.
Pete's tyres, by the way, early 20% wear, being hunted down by Scott behind him on those slightly newer softs, aren't they?
Good damage on Peter or anything. He must have had a bad lap. I don't know. I don't really know why Scott will be on him now of all times, but he's on him, and he's going to pass him as well, is he? As Pete does defend the inside line. In all fairness, Scott might struggle to get round here. Oh, he's giving it a shot, but he can't quite do it. He'll still keep his nose in though as he heads into the S section. Pete's got to think about the championship here. Don't take too many risks. And actually, it's Scott who backs off in the end. I was so sure.
For him, didn't he?
I was so sure that Scott would actually stay committed, but he didn't. And meanwhile, Brandon has been in the pits, as is Khalifa now. So Brandon doing a bit of an undercut at the moment. He's got plenty of free air as he does it. So we'll see if this helps him out in any way. But Khalifa in the pits. Surely going to be a red mark set at the softs for him.
Jack Gooding starting to join the fight between Pete and Scott.
Yep, there he is. Calm, very much watching as well, ready to get involved at any moment. Where's Khalifa going to come back out? He's 6th place. So yeah, actually Pete's absolutely nowhere near him. So yeah, he's not going to win the race.
Kieran Pitts.
Scott trying the outside line again, interestingly, not going to try the inside this time. Not even going to do a cutback, he's just gone off track. Didn't really work out that one for him. Kieran resets off, whereas Brandon is miles clear. I mean, it's not even close. Risky ahead too. So Brandon, you'll be pretty happy with that one. Kieran, slightly panicking, possibly. Realising just how much time he's going to make up now. As we see the top 2 picks, Corey does lead the race. Samba already out before Arnoud's tyres. Could he even get serviced? And I'd be very surprised if Khalifa manages to jump him. Might have a chance on Arnoud. In fact, might have a very good chance on Arnoud as he heads toward turn 1. Because Arnoud will have such a compromised line, but Khalifa also had a compromised line because he went wide, so yeah, it didn't quite work out for him there. Scott has lost out on 2 positions. Jack and Cal have got by, so that's bad news for him. But yeah, Khalifa right on Arnoud. Now that'll be good news if you're Samba watching back and seeing them 2 that close. That'll just sort of comfort you a little bit. And with only 20 laps to go at the end of this one, victory looking pretty good.
Yeah, all the penalties starting to roll in now as a driver's tyre. This is a race of endurance, short track, but 100% makes it actually one of the longer races we go to.
Do you know? Yeah, it's a really long lap when you think about it, because this is actually just as long, if not longer, lap than Austria.
Yeah,
so this
it is longer.
Must be the longest race of the season by some distance.
I think the Kia boys, they got round here in an hour and 10 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, so you know, this one we're sort of approaching levels near a full Grand Prix distance. So yeah, the driver's really having to go the distance for this one. And yeah, we'll see if anyone cracks.
This is interesting. J. Luke and Janel. Oh, I think Janel, he's done enough.
Yeah, he's nicely clear.
They are in separate battles, chase and playoffs. J. Luke not doing enough still. As it stands, your championship 5 would be Janel from the chase.
Oh,
big moment for Jamie.
Saved it though.
Yep, Arnoud, Khalifa, Corey and Kyle currently would be the 5.
Took a few extra chicanes there, did Jamie?
Janel, the only man without a penalty, of course. In the Kia race, you may remember it was Matt Newgarden managed to nab a P2 by keeping it clean for 56 laps.
Must be worth putting out, of course. We're talking like the Championship 5 is decided today. It's not. There's also next week where it could all change around. But yes, you're right. The people that Jamie needs to be beating are all beating him. So it's not really going right for him.
The only person he's not beating is Kyle, but Kyle is 11 points clear, so, and he's only going to gain 1 point on him there.
Oh.
The gap between Jano and Pete is 3 points, so that would be +7 at the end of this, which would mean Pete would need a P9 in Canada if he were to advance. Kieran appears to be out of the equation down in 13th, along with Brandon.
Kieran.
Risky gets past Kieran, in fact.
Yeah, comes back.
Kieran gets right back past him.
I swear it's always these two, isn't it?
It is. Great respect between these two. We saw it in the chat after last week's battle.
Just received some fantastic news. Arsenal are losing. Woohoo! Ah, we've just got a penalty. I've got a habit of catching these ones on board. Always through that corner they get the penalty. Okay, he's just done it. Wasn't quite on board with him for that one though.
The game doesn't like you extending there, even though it's the natural line.
Do you know what? Baz has just made a good point in the chat. There's still 20 runners. What's wrong with them?
Oh, he said it now. It's game over.
Maybe that was the plan.
Maybe. We've had it once before, haven't we? 20 runners. What was it? China at the start of this season?
It definitely did happen this season, didn't it? I don't quite remember what race. It might well have been China, because it was China. It nearly happened in LR8 as well. They're quite good at China, these guys. That's why we did our first championship 5 round there, probably. So yeah, I think it was probably China.
Oh, and I'll throw you a... Cam makes a second stop, by the way. I'll throw you a scenario. Once Dexter makes a stop, 20 drivers, all on 2 stops, safety car comes out, for whatever reason. Do you pit, and then hope that your fresh tyre advantage is enough to win you the race?
No.
Or do you stick it?
I think...
Stick it out.
One DRS zone... And it's the only real overtaking spot. It's not enough, I don't think. If you're putting new tyres on. So
you go track position then around her.
Oh yeah, track position.
With 16 laps to go as well, to be fair.
16 laps, yeah. I mean, it's a decent enough time, but I don't know. Let's see how Thomas does it as he's on the back of Pete. So this would be a visual representation of how this would work. Because actually, Pete was in Narnia a couple of corners ago. We racking up a few warnings. Risky's trying to get by again. He's actually succeeded this time, ahead of Kieran. One of his less impressive days.
Dexter does make his second pit stop, and OKK makes a third pit stop. By the way, Baz are confirming to us that it was China, where we had 20 finishes, as Thomas dispatches Pete down to P10.
Indeed.
And Brandon, all of a sudden, looking at his speed teammate.
And this is fantastic for Brandon, because as he gets the move done,
up the inside,
he isn't actually through. I was about to fake you up there, Brandon, my friend, and then you didn't pass him, so we'll have to hold this for a minute. As Arno gets another penalty, helping out Samba. I think he's only got the one penalty, hasn't he, Samba? Indeed he does, and the two behind him have 6 seconds, and the guy behind that has 15 seconds. That would be good news if you're Jano right now. Up to 4th, that would be, quite comfortably. But yes, as Brandon comes through then, he is the highest of the chase runners who are here next week. And so that puts him in a pretty handy position against Pete and Kieran. Mind you, penalties for them. Pete has 15 seconds, Kieran has 9 seconds, Brandon has 3 seconds. He'll be getting ahead of Thomas at the end of this race. He's only got the 3 seconds, that'll be so crucial to him. So this could be, as Samba and I picked up another penalty, typical, and Pete and everyone, that this could be the moment where Brandon becomes... Riley. Do we even have to check? I'm telling you.
It is Riley.
Oh, dear. Poor Riley.
Brandon comes into this 2 points behind Pete, by the way.
It
gets out of the way, the race leader does Riley.
I didn't realise that was a race leader. Well spotted from Riley there to see that one coming. That could have been a total disaster. But yeah, like I say, right now, Brandon's playing himself right into this. And at the end of the race, the lack of penalties that he has at the moment is going to come back to him in his own favour. But it will also help Jano. But Jano's not here next week. So all this is doing really is helping Brandon pull ahead of Pete and of Kieran. And wouldn't that be brilliant to see Brandon go from completely anonymous to in the Championship 5? brilliant.
Surely not. Surely not.
Wow.
Because
Try and stop him now. He's looking brilliant at the moment. Oh, and risky. And sorry, has crashed into the side of Kieran. That's broken front wing. That'll be Kieran, I guess, is a little bit happier. Well, at least he'll be out of my way in a minute.
Kieran,
and he's got a penalty.
That's time anyway. Kieran has had this chase under control since the
Oh,
start.
don't crash out! Don't crash
Risky.
out! Oh, nicely said. Has he got a puncture or something, or is he just the front wing damage?
Just lost it.
Yellows. Oh. Okay, that's an accident, Jacko. Where's the safety car? Come on, chop chop. We had a front wing damage called safety car. And Khalifa's just overtaken Arnold just as that happened. And Riley was involved in that too. Don't quite know what was that. Well, that was all about. They must have just been laughing.
Owen, Janel, no penalties.
Yeah, Janel, looking very, very good. This is exactly what he needs.
This is
Brandon
the scenario
too.
I gave you. This is the scenario I gave you. Everyone's made their pit stop. Do you stick on some tyres at the end of this safety car period and hope to claim it back? But
I'm still saying no.
Drivers' own penalties will play a factor in this, surely.
Yeah,
track position is king.
Janel could win the race, but that just depends on his own pace, really. Brandon, like I say, with his lack of penalties, this has the potential to stick him 2 positions higher. Doesn't sound much, but could be crucial at the end of the day for him.
He has 18 seconds, by the way.
Yeah.
Brandon staring a championship 5 place in the face.
I know.
With no Janel next week.
This is not a twist we were expecting, I've got to say. No offense to Brandon, but this is looking interesting.
Corey has 15 seconds as well, so J-Luke all of a sudden could do himself enough. And Iceman's there. He's only got 3 seconds of penalties.
Gotta say, this is starting to get quite interesting, Jacko.
It is, Owen. And it's always the way in these playoff races.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a bad one.
Just another twist. So much up for grabs right now. And yeah, this is a pretty good way to set us up for next week as well, because remember, we're back again next week as Canada, isn't it?
Yes.
And we know how that went last season. It went right down to the very last lap to decide all the positions. Quite how Riley could be ignoring a yellow flag under the frickin' safety car. He's ahead of the safety car, for goodness sake. He's
been disqualified.
Okay, that's not his fault. That's not his fault. That's another.
Everybody behind Samba. That makes them very happy. So Riley is no longer in that train.
Well, I guess for their sake that's good, but I don't think that's anything of Riley's fault. Seems a bit of a safety car problem, that one.
Dexter is in the train, mind you. Currently sat P4 on track.
He's not ahead of the safety car though, so
he's not. No.
I tell you, that's gonna irritate Corey. As if the penalties weren't enough, he can't even get involved with the front three to have a little bit of fun because of Dexter in his way. I thought he was about to pit there, Dexter, but he didn't. So yeah, like I say, this sets us up brilliantly for next week if it finishes like this. And obviously, there's all the racing to happen after the safety car, which will shape it up even more. How great would that be to see Iceman actually follow through on the statement as well? That he's set up.
Statement 2.0, don't forget.
Yeah.
Can I throw another unlikely scenario out to you?
Go ahead.
Iceman winning this race?
What's the penalties looking like?
3 seconds.
I don't think he'd be able to get close enough to win. If you're looking at that, you'd be looking more at like Kyle, but even then there'd be so many cars to be within 3 seconds of. You'd need that train to be 3 or 4 tenths between each car. So that's the problem to have there. So that would require a lot of fun racing action, which is obviously what we're looking forward to having. So if they want to win the races, these guys, yeah, go for it. Let's see if they can race their way to it. The penalties will obviously help, and it could well help them to podiums, but wins we'll have to wait and see. That might be something that comes down to a final lap or something.
And as Jess correctly says in chat, it is an exciting twist we have with the safety car. We're going to be in for a cracking final 10 laps as we look towards Canada next week. Khalifa and Arnaud looking set to advance themselves. That was set in stone near enough anyway. Kyle, Jamie, Corey, Iceman.
Ooh,
2 of those advance, and 2 of those will go home.
Safety car's in. The two at the back end of the straight might feel a little bit aggrieved by this. They might not quite catch up in time. Oh no, they're all right.
They're there. They're there.
They're speeding in mind. Hopefully they don't crash into anyone because this is all pretty much stopped at the penultimate corner. When is Samba gonna go? Look at Arnold already trying to storm past Khalifa, who mugged him just before the safety car came out. As we go green again in the USA, and really we do not know what happens from here. Jamie is going to be a bit of a roadblock potentially to these guys. Will Iceman launch an early attack? Let him down the inside towards turn 1. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. He is through. But can he hold it now? As he goes side by side through 2. This is crucial stuff. Iceman can't get through. He has to stop his attack. Oh, he's been nearly collected by Thomas, who's ahead of Brandon still. A few more penalties on the board. Of course there is. But Jamie, on these really old hard tyres, seemingly able to hold his position right now. And Samba's already 20%. A second clear.
Yeah, I think Samba's gone. High 20% for those hard tyres for Jamie. Iceman needs to benefit from his softs, which are low 20%. They will wear off in these next 10 laps, Owen. Samba looking good as we have yellow flags once again. Yeah, it looks like risky.
Risky. Did he ever get a chance to even change that front wing as well? That's a disaster for him. Can Iceman get by though? He has to get by Jamie quickly to take advantage of the penalties ahead of him and to put himself in a position, because Jamie, this is a direct rival, remember? You wouldn't think it looking at it, to be honest with you, but they are both really in a position to be knocking themselves out of the Championship 5 as Risky retires in the pit lane. So, Yellow's back there. Thomas, don't really know how I've missed that one, but Thomas has fallen back. He's broke his front wing.
You can see the desperation in Iceman's driving. Jamie putting that car absolutely where it needs to be. Great driving, great defence. He will lose the position on penalties, but Iceman will want to get through him to try and advance his way through the likes of Kyle and Corey. Corey, of course, 15 seconds of penalties. He's going to drop back at the end of this race. Oh,
Kieran, this is also a big fight, but he might leave himself open to Cam. Got to be careful here on these better tyres.
He's going to run him out of road.
Outside
Kieran
line.
around the outside.
Oh, he's done it. What a move.
For the chase.
That's crucial stuff.
That's massive. Massive.
Wow. Brave move, that one, around the outside of Pete. We've seen what he's done before in the likes of Brazil. He showed a lot more mercy, though, to Kieran this time around. And here comes Cam now, up the hill. Owen. Yeah, well, they must be. All these guys are on salt now. And Cam collides. Thomas is now retired in the pits as well. He wants to have a little watch on this, I think. This is very exciting as Cam does get through. He's up into 11th place. More points down the drain for Pete. He's got so many penalties. It's potential to be finishing last, bar Dexter at this rate. If he keeps falling at this rate, which would be a shame for him. It could be the end for him in this championship, but you just never know about next week. He's got to still be thinking, get every point he can while he has them available to him, because you just never know.
Yep. And news just in, Risky Racer retiring with a knee injury, believe it or not.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Not heard that one before, but fair play. At least he did it in the pit lane. No fake safety car. I don't know the proper word. We're going to go with fake safety car.
Right. No, Iceman's got DRS this time. He's also running out of VRS. Pete's in the pits. He's going to maybe try and get a fastest lap. Because he sort of knows what he's like on the penalties. So try and take advantage of what you can. Gianel, by the way, actually is still leading the race. Iceman! What a move! That must be one of the best moves of the season right there. That was incredible.
Incredible.
That's amazing. Wow. That's absolutely shocked Jimmy. That one really has caught me out.
It's not an overtaken area.
I know.
You don't do that.
You just do not do that, but he has. And it's cost him 2 positions just through the pure shock of it. Brandon snuck his way past as well. What a fantastic move that was. Brilliant. Love to see it. And Jamie, well, look how quickly he's falling back. It shows how much of a defensive job he was doing beforehand, but he can't do anything about catching back up. Can Kieran get into there and sort of pass him a P9? stop Brandon getting too far away. Brandon, who's sitting in a position right now to move up. What would he be moving up? Nowhere, actually. Ignore that. He doesn't move anywhere because all the guys around him have 3 seconds of penalties. Cam, side by side with Kieran. Kieran, who's protecting the inside line. Hope he's not overprotecting the inside line. Lastly, needs another accident. And he has to concede the position. Janel is about to lose the race lead, by the way. Like I say, he just had to stay close, and unfortunately, he just hasn't been able to do that today. The race lead goes back to Samba. With the penalties.
Cam. No,
I just can't quite manage it. So we, well, what's going to happen next? I still don't really know how we're going to
collect ourselves
finish.
for a bit.
Well, I don't really know what the order's going to be looking like right now, apart from the fact that the top 3 of their penalties, Corey's going to have some sort of cataclysmic fall through the field, so Brandon will make up positions, actually. But, yeah, will any of the top 3 pick up another penalty? At the minute, Samba is trying to sort of make a 3-second gap, just in case.
Oh, and I'm telling you, Brandon is currently -5 to Janel, and another 4 positions on track. So that's -9.
Going through an Iceman. Showing the commitment. Iceman nearly loses it. Dexter's retired. Don't really know where that's happened.
In the pit lane.
Well, his car's not even in the pit lane for me. He's just sort of disappeared. No, it's just disappeared. Oh, well, he's out anyway. But Brandon, you're up to P7 now.
So now only 8 positions, which means next week he would have to finish P9. P9 would put him in the championship. That's all he's got to do. He's running P7 at the moment, so clearly he can do it.
Well. That is interesting. Like I say, really, he had been such a background character before today, and he's just turned up and he's doing this. Brilliant.
1 podium all season. 82 car of Brandon Wilson, staring at a shot at the title.
And remember, even if you haven't been there all season, even if you haven't been on the pace, all it takes is that championship race to be a good one for you. If you're in it, you can win it. And that's what he's trying to be at the moment, Brandon. With a fantastic drive so far. And he's pulling away nicely from Iceman. Looks like he'll be able to make the gap, just to sort of secure himself. Samba still pulling away as Arnold tries to close in on the back of Khalifa. Will these 2 be advancing today, or is it going to need a little bit more?
Khalifa and Arnold will. Kyle will not. Corey won't. It will be between Corey, J. Luke and Iceman next week. And Kyle, sorry. Khalifa and Arnold doing enough. Janel still with no penalties.
I wonder what Jamie is thinking right now, because he is sitting there with 12 seconds of penalty, so he will fall behind Cam as well. He's on the slower tires, might find himself under threat at the end. Could Kieran get by him as well? You know, he's fallen outside the top 10 potentially here, Jamie, while all of his rivals are sitting in the top 5. It's, or not the top 5, sorry. Or are they in the top 5? Top 8, sorry. Top 8. Well,
Cam gets past Jamie.
We'll decide it when they cross the line, yes. Cam has got by there.
Just to interrupt you, tweet from Risky handing over his overtake of the season award to Iceman.
He doesn't really have much choice, does he?
That's that one. What an overtake.
I think that won it by default, sadly.
Yeah. The reaction, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
The only overtake that we got allowed a reaction from us this season was Paul on Khalifa at the line.
Well, yeah, that was borderline race fixing.
Can't have 6.
I mean, obviously not confirmed race fixing, whenever.
No money changed hands.
No money changed hands.
Inside 4 laps to go here.
Although we did get a fancy glass with his name on it. It's at Thruxton, so maybe that'll be his leverage.
Maybe.
Haven't used that glass yet, I've got to say. I'm sort of keeping it as a trophy because I never won one because I only finished 4th.
Oh, well, you enjoy that. Now, by the way, looking at the back of Khalifa into turn 1.
Indeed, we're watching him, we're seeing him. Got to cut back to Kieran now, quickly. Trying to get himself past Jamie. Jamie defends to the inside line. Kieran will go around the outside then, and then cut back. And fail miserably on that one. He's not really got much to lose of this one, but he still wants to get ahead. But yeah, since it doesn't end up in an accident, like I say. You don't want me to do any more funny puns, my friend? Oh, Christ.
Very, very funny of you.
Mind you, oh, well.
Sorry. I'll get back in my box.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
That's alright, hasn't it? The tension's gone. Yellow flags!
Oh.
Camo Papa's out of the race!
Yes, has he crashed in the pit lane entry? Yes, he has. That's not gone well, has it? That's not going to put a safety car. I think it's too late in the race. Mind you, I've seen it before, so we'll just wait on the safety car. I think if it happened on the last lap, it would have been a safety car. But here's Arnold running outside of Khalifa. Nice exit, but contact. That's the last thing you need, lads. Christ. But they're keeping it on the road. They're keeping it alive, and Cam is going past Iceman into turn 1. Iceman has to defend this one. He can't let himself fall back too far, because that'll be putting him out of contention. He might still beat Corey on the track at this rate, thanks to the penalty, but he might not. It'll be close, actually. We'll have to keep our eye on that. Brandon's just picked up another penalty. That could be crucial to him, actually. We'll see how that all pans out. So much will change at the end of this last lap. One thing, though, that doesn't look like it's going to change, is that we might be about to see our first ever debutant take a race victory. Obviously not cutting a race 1 of JACKOCAR's history, where everyone was a rookie. This is a flat-out debutant, race 48 of the league. His first and possibly last ever appearance as he prepares to retire from league racing. Samba is about to start his final. In fact, he has already started it. He's heading through. And he is on course to make JACKOCAR history. What a one-off appearance this would end up being, but we'll have to watch him a little bit later. Arnold was on the back of Cleveland, but couldn't do much about it, so actually, you know what, let's cut back to him, because if this is his only appearance of us, if this is him waving goodbye to league racing soon, then we've got to give him his moment, haven't we?
It's a man who showed interest in racing in JACKOCAR, but the opportunity never arose for him with his commitments in real life. He's been a big follower and a big hand in One Hub racing history, and I think he's a champion over there. I'm not entirely sure. Finishing off his final season in One Hub, but a one-off appearance in the Cup Series. Driver number 52, the only debutant to come into this league and win his first and only race. Nathan Sambaret. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong, but the man from Belgium in the 27 car comes across the line and wins in USA.
And it wasn't even close. 5 seconds clear. Arnold takes P2 and Zach the extra penalty. There you go, didn't even notice it. Cleve is third. Janel now up to second place. So, that's gone well. How far is Corey going to fall down the field? Kyle beats him. Brandon, does he beat him?
Brandon needs this.
No, he's only 7th. Cam 8th, Iceman 9th. Jimmy Jeff for all actually staying in the same position. This is bizarre. I didn't think this was going to happen. Kieran's 11th. But yeah, Janel finishing that P2. That is crucial. He's not going to be here next week, but the points he's picked up today, that must possibly still make him feel a little bit confident that he might still have a chance of getting through. What's that going to do to the points? Obviously, Arnold and Cleaver still get through, don't they?
Yep, Arnold and Cleaver have advanced. Kyle, Corey, Jamie, and Iceman will have to come back next week. To get ourselves a shot at the title in Canada.
Indeed.
But Iceman, importantly now, is in a must-win situation. Jamie can get in on points.
Oh, it's 2-0. Oh, bloody hell. But basically, it's Villarreal as a Europa League semi-final that Arsenal sort of need for their... Damn it.
Do the order.
Yeah, we'll do the order. Sorry, it just popped up on my screen. I've just scored. I've got gifs of people celebrating. So we've watched people celebrate on the podium. Let's just look at the order. 14th on the grid in his one and only appearance. Samba, first time winner. What a drive. Janel, second place, could be crucial for him in his fight to be in the Challenger 5. Arnold, third, he's advanced. Khalifa, fourth, advanced. Kyle, not yet. Corey, not yet. Brandon, good day, could be crucial for him. Cam, 8th place. Iceman, needs to win next time out. Jamie, also a bit in trouble. Kieran, also a bit in trouble. Pete, also a bit in trouble, but you just never know how it'll go next week for those three. With Brandon, Kieran and Pete, it could be a thriller, that. And then Jack and Scott are the last finishers. Calamo Babo retired, didn't he? and then
Yep.
he binned it. And then Dexter, he flat out disappeared on my screen, but I'm told he retired. And then Thomas,
Risky out
Risky,
for the season
Riley,
with his injury.
Riley, and OKK is Risky with a season-ending injury.
Yeah, Riley actually with a disqualification, so
Yes.
he'll be 20.
There you go. We got our disqualification then.
Not on penalties.
Not on penalties, so
Ignoring
technically.
yellow flags, but there you go. That was a USA short.
So we go from one part of North America to another part of North America. We are going to Canada next week, where we will find out the final 3 members of the Championship 5. Khalifa and Arnold are already in. So join us next week to see who all else gets in. It's gonna be a thriller. So, cheers for watching. Hope you enjoyed the lack of jet engine. And, yeah, safe travels.